Get more coffee.
I don't have any made, so I'd have to make it.
Or cheeky?
Well, we can wait for you because coffee is a must.
It's okay. Let's get some done, and then I'll make coffee halfway through, and we'll be good. And I'm gonna pretend like I'm awake.
I love that level of energy. Let's do it. Let's continue on with this and
Okay.
talk about Nightbitch by Rachel Yoder. This
Hold on.
is definitely one.
Andrea's not ready. Okay.
No,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. We
Not
forgive
ready.
you. Woo woo, Nightbitch. So this was a book club book we all read together, picked by Kelly,
Of course.
of course. It is probably one of the top three strangest books I've read. And kudos to Kelly because I think she's picked all top three for me. This is probably one or two. I'm struggling between Supermarket. That one was just such bad writing. This one was more weird, in my opinion. But we'll do a quick synopsis. So it's a dark comedy and like surreal novel about a former artist turned stay-at-home mom. And she begins to start transforming into a dog, or she suspects she does. Um, it has recently been turned into a movie, so you might have seen it with the main character who I'm blanking on. What's her name? Not Rachel McAdams.
Like, what is her name in the book?
Oh no, I mean in the actress in the movie.
Oh,
Jamie Adams.
Amy Adams, yeah.
Yes, Amy Adams. So in here, Amy Adams or main lady, I don't even know if they give her a name. I think
No,
the
actually,
name is withheld through the whole book.
mhm.
She has this like wild journey of like self-discovery. She explores, I would say, an MLM. It goes into her identity, motherhood, and there's just so many other elements of this book, but it's really about her being like pushed to the edge and a level of crazy that comes with that. So, what did you guys rate it? We are doing spoilers because we can't withhold in this book. So, Liz, go first. What's your rating?
Thumbs down.
Thumbs
Thumbs
down.
down.
Two thumbs
I
down.
don't know, like a two, like it was awful. I hated it. It grossed me out. And it was, she was a lunatic. I didn't like anyone in the book. It was weird. The end scene, I think, was the weirdest, and I just couldn't stop being creeped out the whole time. So
Okay, but you said two, but we normally do like A through F.
it gets
A
I
D.
don't know. So it was good for book club because we talked about it a lot. There's a lot of discussion, right? But in terms of like reading with myself, it's a D. I was just creeped out the whole time. But it wasn't awful writing. I mean, it wasn't good, but it wasn't awful.
And fun fact, the author is a graduate of the University of Iowa, which Liz and I went to. So fun little fact there. And what did you rate it?
I also rated it a D, and it would have been an F if the writing weren't good. Like her actual writing style wasn't bad, but the whole story, and she like kind of like hates her kid or like her mother, like motherhood, and that kind of annoyed me. And she does a lot of like really weird things that it's like, come on, seriously? Like, I don't know. So it would have been an F, but I liked the writing style. I didn't think she was a bad writer. I just thought the plot was really ridiculous.
Okay, we're all the same this time. I also wrote it a D. I do agree with Liz's sentiment on it was a really good book club book. Um, Lots of discussion, lots of like side chats about this one because it was just so wild and crazy. I also rated it lower because, and maybe I should have rated it higher for this reason, but like I despised this lady's husband. None of these people have names, but I despised her husband. And I also didn't like how the main character it was like always so negative. Like there was nothing positive ever going on. It was just kind of this almost victim mentality or like woe is me through the whole story. Um, and it was kind of depressing and haunting and disgusting all throughout. Like it was a pretty short book. It's like 220 pages. So it was just kind of a downer to read. But there are a couple scenes that were just wild. One I'll say is when she was like hunting the bunny and that like she like killed this bunny and ate it with her teeth. It was disturbing. And maybe I should put like a
The
disclaimer
other,
on
what
the
other, what are there's so there's two that creeped me out, two scenes. What were
Okay,
your?
what was your
No,
top?
I want to see if they're the same as yours.
The second one was when she thinks that she's growing a tail and she's like basically pulling it out of her spine, almost like it kind of seemed like there might have been like a cyst or something, and she like popped it and there's like hair coming out. That was also pretty gross.
That and when she killed the cat.
Yeah, the cat was
Mhm.
mine. Yeah,
Oh
that was
god.
bad.
Maybe I'm
So
getting
Brian
that
and I,
mixed up with the bunny. She did kill a bunny too, right?
Mhm.
but
Okay.
she killed her pet cat.
Yeah.
So
That
just so Brian and I started watching the show last night. We had to turn it off. Couldn't finish it.
You
Corey
didn't even
was
finish it.
gagging. Corey
Brian,
was
we
like
got to the
gagging.
part where she's like cutting her cyst on her tailbone open, and it's not just like a little bit of hair. She is like pulling hair out, like this chunks of hair out of it. And I was like, Brian's like, I don't like this show. I was like, I don't either. Let's not watch it. So we stopped.
But Anne, you and Corey finished it, didn't you?
We finished it, yes. Corey was gagging through that part, but and some other parts, like when I knew the cat was gonna get killed, he didn't watch that part. But they weren't that part wasn't that bad. Like it insinuates they killed the cat, but you don't actually see her. But yeah, she does like do some other like it's very similar to the book, and she goes like hunting, and then her friends bring her dead animals. Remember how she thinks her friends are like the other dogs in the neighborhood, or like yeah,
Oh gosh.
What
Yeah.
I think still think like one of the not most graphic but weirdest scenes is at the end when she has them all over for her exhibition, like in the yard, and she like pretends like she's a dog and runs around. Like that's the weirdest. What would you do? Like if you were someone invited you over for their art, right? To show you their art installation, and it's them howling like a dog running around.
I would get my phone out and I would Snapchat book club and be like, look at this crazy lunatic.
That's a
I
good
don't
answer.
know.
Andrea, what would you do?
I don't know. I would probably leave awkwardly.
Just like back out of the party.
Yeah.
Like that, what is it, that Homer Simpson meme where he just like fades into the book.
Into the bushes.
Yeah. That's disturbing. Anyway, that creeped me out. I was like, I had so much secondhand embarrassment for her that I was so uncomfortable reading that book. It was awful.
It was weird, like the husband just goes along with it too. Like
Hmm.
he's just like, ah, whatever. She's a dog now. My kid sleeps in a dog bed. Like
Eats out of a
he
dog's
just
bowl.
yeah. Like he just like in the movie he's a little bit of like what the fuck, but then he pretty much just goes with it like he does in the book. Like he's just like, okay, well, whatever.
What would Corey do if you started making your child sleep in a kennel?
Oh, he would be mad. Like
Yeah.
he
Or
would not
started.
allow such crazy things.
I also thought it was odd, like how they started eating raw meat, like even the little boy. That was kind of gross.
Yeah.
That's how you get worms. Fun fact. Cook your
Mm.
meat.
That's disgusting. So yeah, this one was disturbing, not highly rated by us. Although I do think that people will read this book and there will be some people who love it and like it'll be their favorite book or movie of the year
Oh,
because it's just so outrageous. I think that some people will cling on to that. But as far as us, we all rated it D's. Would not recommend unless you're reading it for book club, which then it will spark some discussion.
do you really think some people would like this book?
Yeah, I read IMDb ratings on it, and some people are like, they love it.
I
Like
think
the
that's
I think
movie,
it
at least.
like touched I think it's like the postpartum feminist thing, like side that it has, which I think it could be better, but the lady is just so negative, like the whole time. Like, I mean, I think that's why people like it because it touches on like the feminist aspect and then like the postpartum, I think is what they're getting at, why she's like this. So I think that might be why some people like it, but I don't know. I couldn't even get into she was just so negative all the time. Like Woe
Yeah,
is me.
it was tough to get through, even though it wasn't that long. You kind of just read each chapter and you're like, what just happened? Like, oh my gosh,
She's
it's just
running
right
naked
there.
in the park.
Oh my God. You guys don't do that?
No.
No. Well, that is Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. Read it at your own risk. Animals are harmed. Spoiler.